Hello, 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 and welcome to the Black Girl Magic Show, brought to you by Spreaker Studios. I am your lovely host. My name is Kathy, better known as Miss Diamond, and today we're going to come together and we're going to talk about some Valentine's DIY. Yes, DIY decoration for your home for Valentine's Day. And so without further ado, let's get into it. And today's DIY decoration is coming from Victoria. No, not Victoria, Olivia. Sorry.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Olivia here with Olivia's Romantic Home, and in today's video I cannot wait to share with you 50 DIY Dollar Tree home decor craft projects. So you guys, I love to teach you all how to make your home absolutely gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. I love the Dollar Tree. We are going to take Dollar Tree items and make them fabulous. So if you guys like different styles such as glam, farmhouse, shabby chic, rustic, I have a little bit for everyone. And also remember, you guys can use a different color of paint or whatever kind of different styles that you all love. You can take those styles and add them kind of to your own flair with these projects. I'm going to share with you guys everything that I have done from December through January. So this is a compilation video. You guys loved the 60 DIY compilation video that I did for Christmas. I also did a 30 DIY compilation video for you. I will link those down below if you missed any of those holiday crafts. But right now we are going to do some winter glam. We are going to do some Valentine's crafts. These are all the crafts that we've already done, but I'm putting them in one video for you guys to binge watch. Who doesn't love binge watching crafting videos? If you guys love to craft and decorate, here it is. So you guys, plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint. Let's make our homes fabulous and gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. I love you, and let's get to crafting. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, you're going to create a beautiful blooming wine glass. So we're just going to use some of those Dollar Tree petals. They come about $300 to a bag in the Dollar Tree wedding section. And I found this wine glass at the thrift store for about $1. You can also find wine glasses at the Dollar Tree. You just want to apply some hot glue to the base at the bottom of the stem of the wine glass and begin to glue layers of those petals on. Now, I glued about 3 layers of petals, but you all can do 1 layer, or you can glue several, however many you want. It's going to give kind of the feeling of a flower that's blooming up from the base of your glass. You could also add a flower into the center of your wine glass, but for this creation, I am going to add sand and put a candle in this. Now, to go a little bit further with this, you guys, I am going to add some beautiful white satin ribbon. My Dollar Tree sells satin ribbon, and you could also find this at Walmart. And so you're going to add a dab of hot glue to the stem of your wine glass and begin to kind of wind the satin ribbon up the wine glass until you get to the top. Add some more hot glue, and then cut it off where you see fit. Once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and take some more of that satin ribbon and just tie a really easy little shoelace bow. You're going to hot glue that on underneath the rose petal creation and then add a beautiful bling jewel. My bling jewel for this one I chose was a really soft bling pearl. You can find these at Dollar Tree. I also find my pearls at Michael's. You can buy a whole huge pack of them there. And they have a flat back, so it makes them really nice to work with kind of bridal projects or different projects that you might want a flat back pearl for. I just love how this turns out. It is so easy to do, and it looks so glamorous, perfect for bridal or anniversary, or just because if you're decorating for a winter white. Now add some of that Dollar Tree sand and then pop a candle in and you're good to go. I did not find any LED candles at my Dollar Tree. Those are usually what I use, but it also looks very glamorous and very romantic with this lovely real flickering candle glow. Now how gorgeous is this? So perfect for that extra special romantic touch, and very beautiful for a bridal table as well. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we are going to create a beautiful floating floral arrangement. So I have four 4x6 Dollar Tree frames, and I'm going to go ahead and remove everything that's inside of the frame, including the glass. So I want to do that to all four of my frames, and then once I have everything removed, I'm even going to take some wire cutters and I'm just going to pop the little tabs out as well. Once I have the tabs popped out of the frame, I'm going to use some E6000 and just glue a tiny bit on the inside of the frame and then replace the glass. That way this beautiful floral can have glass windows in it. Again, I want this floral to appear like it's floating. So we're going to go ahead and take now the frames and glue the E6000 on the longer side of the frame. Stand that up and attach that to the other frame. Now I've already gone ahead and added all the glass and glued that back into place with these frames. So these frames are ready to go ahead and create our floral base. So this is really easy. It does take a little bit of patience, and you may want to kind of hold the frames kind of on for a minute or so and make sure that they don't move around with the E6000 glue. But once you have them glued together, this E6000 glue is going to hold really, really well. Once I got these glued together and it was stable enough for me to move, I moved it over to a box for it to dry, and I let it dry for several hours before I started working on the floral. It's even good to let these dry overnight. But once you're finished with that, go ahead and take a piece of square styrofoam from the Dollar Tree, and I used a butter knife to poke a hole in it. You can also use scissors, just be very careful on this part. Go ahead and poke that extra framed piece through your styrofoam. Again, I just disassembled a picture frame and I used the longer piece. And then on your styrofoam, you want to use some reindeer moss, and you're going to cover your entire piece of styrofoam with reindeer moss. I started out with a little piece of frame in this, and then I went ahead and took that out because I did want to go ahead and cover the entire piece of styrofoam. Just remember, wherever you poked those holes, not to completely cover that part, because you are going to need to push that piece of frame back in. The single piece of frame is important because that's what's going to hold up your floral and give it that really beautiful floating appearance. Now, you could also just add a top to this and glue your styrofoam on top of that, but again, I wanted this to appear floating, so we're going to use roses, carnations. I also have some cattails, some baby sprath, and that's what we're going to use. I have about 7 to 8 bundles. I just took them apart at their stems, and I'm beginning with the roses. And so to create a beautiful floral, I like to start kind of with my centerpiece items, and I felt like these roses were very beautiful, and I used some creams and some whites together. I want to give it that really beautiful winter white feeling. Also, this could be used for bridal. If you're decorating for a shabby chic spring, this is wonderful. So I'm just kind of alternating the different heights of the florals, using some of the roses, some of the carnations, some of the baby sprath, and then beginning to poke in some of the cattails. I do want to give this floral height and dimension, so it's not really particular what you use. Just make sure that you're using something that can give your floral a little bit of height around the top and then around the edges. That's going to give it that sprayed kind of appearance and give it that beautiful height and dimension. floral on, I just want to add a dab of hot glue to each side of that picture frame piece that we poked through the styrofoam. So nothing fancy here, just some dabs of hot glue, and then take the rest of your extra reindeer moss and kind of press over the spots that you hot glue. Now be careful on this part because that glue is exposed, so just make sure you lump that reindeer moss on, and then as the glue dries, you can kind of push in on it. And that is going to be this beautiful floating floral. Now I did go a little bit over the top with this, and I added several layers of ribbons to each side, kind of where that reindeer moss was. So I added in some white satin ribbon from Dollar Tree. They also had this beautiful lace. I layered that in, and then I layered a cream lace on top of that, and I just love how these ribbons are mixing with the flowers. So the roses have a little bit of cream to them, and then the carnations and the baby's breath is just all kind of mixing in really beautifully. And then of course I'm finishing out with a beautiful bling pearl center, and look how amazing this is. This is so beautiful. I put an LED candle underneath. It's a flickering candle that I found actually at the thrift store. I was so lucky to find one. But look at how beautiful this is. This honestly would cost a lot of money in a store. And if you guys have ever looked into bridal flowers or just florals in general, they're very pricey, and we did this for a fraction of the cost. I think it came out really beautiful. It can be used for bridal, winter whites, winter wonderland, shabby chic. Even this can go into spring. And if you really want to doll this up, stop by Michael's and invest in a little bit more of some high-end roses to add into this. It'll really even take it to the extra, kick it up a notch a little bit. But I'm loving this. Even my husband came home and was in awe. He was like, wow, babe, that looks really beautiful. So here it is with this beautiful blessed sign. Now this is going to be our next project, and for this project all you're going to need is a white picture frame, and I found mine at the thrift store. You're going to need a Dollar Tree piece of foam board and some lace and some spray paint. And so what I'm doing is I'm measuring this frame out. Now I shared with you all how to paint frames in another DIY, and I will link that down below. But what I want to do is cut my piece of Dollar Tree foam board to fit inside of the frame. So I'm just measuring it, and then I'm going to cut it with a craft.
Okay. Well, our time is running out, but stay tuned to the next time. I'll have more Dollar Tree Valentine's DIYs on how to decorate your house for Valentine's Day, and how to make Valentine's Day gifts on a budget with Dollar Tree gift basket ideas. Until the next time, this has been Kathy Dickens' Black Girl Magic Show, or the Kathy Dickens Show, brought to you by Spreaker Studio. Until the next time, God bless.